So let me guess, you want to be a photographer. In this video, I'm going to cover the basic equipment that you're going to need in order to get into photography. So here we go. So the first thing you're going to need is a camera. Duh, obviously, right? But buying a camera is almost like buying a car. You can't just go up to somebody and say, oh, what car should I buy? That's not how buying a camera works. There's not really a right answer for it, right? When you're buying a car, everybody's gonna ask you, but what do you want it for? You know, is it just for you? Are you single? Do you have a family? Are you gonna travel? Are you gonna go off-road? Do you wanna go fast? Like, what are the features you're looking for? Buying a camera is almost the same thing. It all depends on what are you gonna use it for. Are you gonna be shooting landscape? Are you gonna be doing birds? Do you want close-ups? All that stuff matters, because the way you buy a camera, usually when you go with a DSLR, which is a digital camera, the lens and the body come separate usually, or you could buy it together. But again, that matters. Do you want to zoom in? Do you want it to zoom out? Do you want it just to be a prime lens? A prime lens means that it's stuck on just one length, you know. It's not a zoom in and zoom out lens. Either way, you got to think about all that. I would approach it the same way, again, using the same metaphor of a car. I would approach it the same way. What's your budget? First, start with that. How much money are you realistically willing to spend on your camera? And then start looking for cameras within that price range that might fit your needs. Ask professionals. You know, if you go to a local camera store or a big franchise store near, ask a professional. If you go online, read the reviews. I like reading the worst reviews just because you get to see all the complaints that people have, and if it's something that I feel I can deal with, then that's usually the good choice. But again, it all really depends on you. Start off with the basic, what's your budget? Be realistic about it. When I started years ago, I started off with a Canon PowerShot. It's an entry-level camera. I eventually worked my way up. Don't be scared to do that neither. Start off with a simple camera now, get familiar with the features. Yeah, and just kind of work your way up from there. But just be realistic about it, honestly, about what you're gonna be using the camera for, your expectations, your budget. You don't want to put yourself in debt neither. So yeah, just be smart about it. But the first thing you're gonna need is definitely a camera. And now that you have your camera, here's the second thing you're gonna need. The next thing you're gonna need, it's an external flash. So you can get just about, again, same thing, stick with your budget, look at the reviews, buy whichever one you feel comfortable. There's a lot. I have my favorites for different reasons, which I'm not gonna get into now. Maybe that's another video in the future. But get yourself an external flash. You're really gonna need it. It's gonna come in handy, especially if you're thinking of going into the business aspect of photography. If you're doing a birthday party, a wedding, Sweet 15, even portrait indoors, and you need some extra lighting while you're moving around, this is gonna be perfect. Again, I wouldn't say this is the only thing you're gonna need, so don't think this is it and then you're done with lighting, especially if you're thinking of doing portraiture or other you know, dealing with models and subjects. You're gonna need extra lighting, but this is definitely a good start. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is just the basic equipment that you're gonna need to get started. It's not the end all be all per se. But again, yeah, get yourself one. It's helpful. I'll do another video explaining exactly how to use these best and what's my techniques behind using these in indoor environments and during special events, birthday parties, and all that good stuff. But again, get yourself one. You're gonna need one. You're definitely gonna need one. You're definitely gonna need one. The next thing you're gonna need is a computer. You're gonna need a computer, whether it's a laptop, a desktop. You're gonna need a computer. Why? Because you need to run specific software that we're gonna talk about in a little bit, to process your images, to edit your images, to store your images. You're gonna need a computer, I'm telling you right now. And plus, you want to market yourself, and if you got a website, you're gonna need a computer. So either or, no matter how you look at it, you're gonna need a computer, laptop or desktop. Get yourself one. I prefer both. The laptop, because you get to travel with it. It's easier when you get to travel. And the desktop, just because sometimes you just want bigger screens or you want to be able to process stuff faster. But either or, whatever you can afford. Again, stick to your budget. Don't put yourself in debt, but get yourself a laptop or a desktop, or both if you can, or just start with one and then work your way up to the other one. But yeah, that's about it. So the next thing you're gonna need is a It's an external hard drive. Kind of looks like this. Different brands. You can get them online. I usually get mine on Amazon. Hard drive. And let me talk about this for a second. This is very, very important. When I first started, this is the one thing nobody ever mentioned to me. What are these, right? So an external hard drive is basically a memory disk that you would find in your computer, but it's not in your computer, it's portable, it's in your hands. So you're basically walking around with a big USB. You know what I mean? Think of it like that. It's way more advanced than a USB. Why do you need these? Because this is where you're gonna store all your work. You're gonna have to store all your work. It's important. I have work backed up to about 2013, and I started before that. It's just I wasn't really in tune with the organizational components or aspects of photography, and it's very important that you keep your work documented, that you keep it stored away, that you keep a track of just your progress in your work. Who doesn't want to keep their work? And in a few years you're going to want to look back and see all the work that you've done and just kind of be able to revisit certain moments. So definitely I would say go with the, again, same thing with your budget, but get the most memory you can. Read the reviews, get the best ones that you feel most comfortable getting, but just read the reviews. You know, there's really not a right way to go. It's almost like a camera. You hear Canon and Nikon a lot, but there's other cameras out there. There's Sony, so it's almost the same thing with every other equipment. It's gonna be preferences or favorites or well-known brands, but you know, just be smart about it. Just read the reviews. Pick whatever you can in terms of your budget, but you're definitely gonna need these. This is one piece of advice that I would give you in terms of external hard drives. Make sure they're portable. Make sure you buy a portable external hard drive, which means that it's built a specific way for you to be able to take it with you. So it's a lot more durable. These don't last forever, and it's not a specific, it's just all of them. It's almost like a computer. When you buy a computer, it's not gonna last you forever. You know, it has a lifespan. Even if it lasts you 20 years, 20 years is not forever. So it's the same thing with these. You eventually wanna start backing these up also. So buy a lot of these. If you have money laying around and you don't know what to buy, you wanna buy something, buy another one of these. Especially if you still have some, buy another one and buy another one. Stack these up. You'll never run out of usage for these. My photographer teacher, my professor in Mass Art used to always say that 2 is 1, 1 is none. Meaning if you have 2 of these, right, you back them up. If you just have one and this one gets ruined, you don't have anything. So 2 is 1, 1 is none. Back up all your work. I can't say it, I can't stress it enough. Back up all of your work. And yeah, and just protect them, keep them around the house. Don't try to take them out too much if you don't need to. I have one that I use to travel with, and I have one that I leave strictly at home. Maybe you want to do the same thing. And yeah, get yourself portable external hard drives. You're gonna need them, trust me. And here's the other thing you're gonna need. So the last thing you're gonna need is actually gonna be software for your computer. I recommend Lightroom. Think of it like Photoshop. I know everybody's heard of Photoshop, or I hope you've heard of Photoshop, and if you haven't, it's fine. Lightroom is basically Photoshop for photographers. They took out all the features that photographers generally don't need, and you come and they added more stuff specifically for photographers, and that's what Lightroom is. It's an Adobe product. I pay for the monthly subscription. It's definitely worth it. I would say get into it. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube. I might start doing some myself, but there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube, a lot of Google articles. I feel like if you put the energy into it and you start from that and you don't teach yourself anything else, it's gonna be easier because that's all you're gonna know. I started off with other stuff like free online software. I didn't want to pay. I was real adamant about editing pictures, about not editing pictures. I had this funny thought when I first started in terms of like I wanted to do the less editing possible. I wanted my images to be raw and perfect from the start. But with time, I realized just how more powerful the images are when you do process them, and when you do some color corrections, and when you pop out some shadows. It really does enhance the message behind the image. And now I love it. I love editing. It's one of my favorite parts of photography. Is when you sit down, think of it almost like decorating the cake. You know, you love baking, you love the process of baking, but the decoration part is it's almost like, you know, it's the fun part. You get to use different colors each time and different textures, and you get to get creative, and that's how I feel about the processing part. So again, if you could jump straight into Lightroom. If you can't, I would recommend stuff like oh man, I don't even want to say any names, to be honest, just because I don't want to put my name on any of these. I don't want to vouch for any of these free programs, just because I don't want to vouch for any of these free programs. But I would say that there is a lot of free programs. There's a lot of free image editing or photography editing programs online that you can get. There's a few of them that have filters, and you can use filters and edits. I'm not a big fan of filters in Lightroom. They're more so called presets, but once you put a preset on it, or a filter as most people would call it, you get to edit the filter. So it's not just put a mask over it or a filter and then you call it a day. You actually, it's your first step in the editing process. But again, you're gonna need some kind of image editing software program, whether it's online, whether you download it, whether you buy it. You're gonna need one, so try to get comfortable with one. Find one that you're comfortable with. Again, I've seen some of my friends use free programs that I wouldn't touch and come out with amazing product. I don't do that, you know. I use Adobe just because it's what I'm comfortable with. I feel like it has all the tools that I need. It's what I learned in school. It's what I got familiar with when I was going to Mass Art. So it's kind of what I stuck with, but there's no right or wrong. Again, I'm just telling you what I use, what I recommend, what I'm familiar with, and what maybe you're gonna be seeing a lot on this channel. But it's up to you, you know what I mean? Get whatever helps you and just get familiar with it. Thank you for watching this video. Again, this is just the bare minimum, the basic equipment that I feel you're gonna need in order to get into photography. This isn't the end all be all. I'm gonna be doing a lot more videos and getting a lot deeper into each of this equipment and plus more. But again, this is what I look at, the basic minimum that you're gonna need in order to open up shop, in order to get the ball rolling, in order to not find yourself missing anything in the, let's say, the first few weeks of your photography journey. So let's recap real quick. You're gonna need a camera, you're gonna need an external hard drive, you're gonna need an external flash, a computer, image editing software, and I think that was about it, right? Yeah, that was about it. So yeah, thank you again for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna be doing a lot more videos. I'm gonna be sharing a lot more of my experiences, my expertise, my advice, my ideas, stories, experiences, just everything, honestly. So I appreciate everybody watching. Please share it with somebody who loves photography, who's into photography, who wants to get into photography. Do me that favor. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. Subscribe, comment, follow. Check me out on Facebook, check me out on Instagram, on the website, FlacoValley.com, Flaco Valley on everything. Look me up. Check out the shop for the merch. Appreciate you.